this is an update for the Frankly My Darling I Don't Give a Pan Project Pan. I will put all the information about the fantastic ladies who created it and stuff, or links to join or whatever. This has no end date. It's just, you can join whenever and you can end whenever, because it's just working on a bunch of Frankens. If you are new here, then most of the eyeshadow Frankens that I'm working on are currently residing inside this little elf palette. So let's just get straight into the progress from last month compared to this month. The first shade in the palette I used 6 times, the second shade I used once, the third shade I used 4 times, and the fourth shade I also used once. Both the green and the purple I used 3 times. I used the taupe shade twice. The darker brown shade I used 5 times, that purple shade I used 3 times, and the blue I used 7 times. As you can see, this first shade definitely expanded in the pan. I'd say significantly. I mostly use this in the crease, specifically to blend out darker colors, especially this brown right here, but I think once I did use it alone in the crease for a really natural light look. This shade I only used once because I decided I'm no longer going to work on it on its own. I need to Franken it a lot more because I'm done with this shade. I tried to use it in a look and it did not do what I wanted. It just like wasn't showing up, so I had to use another shade on top, and that look was kind of a disaster. So I'm done. This pink shade I use mostly to blend out this purpley pink shade, but occasionally I use it on its own, or one time I did use it in combination with the lighter purple shade. But I think it's a really pretty color, and both on its own and blended out with other things, I think the pan expanded a little bit, but not a ton. The orange shade I only used once, and I like it, just not enough to use it all up. So what I plan on doing is Frankening it into a bronzer shade, because I eventually will need a new bronzer. The green and the purple are on my eyes today. I think the pan expanded a bit on the green. Actually, I hit pan in the purple today. I was not expecting to hit pan that soon, but I wasn't gonna be mad about it. I was like, oh, okay. I really like these shades. They're definitely more intense when I use a glitter primer underneath, but I didn't today because of the way I applied it. This taupe, I have also realized, oh, I forgot to mention, even though I like this taupe and this pale brown, like the orange, I'm just kind of done. I want to use them faster, so I've decided I'm thinking of franking them into a contour. I know they are shimmery, but I know how to make it into like a satin finish by frankening it with other things. So that's what I decided to do. I'm going to make a new bronzer and a new contour, and I will probably film all of my repressing and frankening stuff, and it probably won't be up until next month, right before my next Frankenly update. With that being said, I guess I should say I'm going to repress almost all the shades in here, with the exception of, you know, these two that have small pan and that shade that I gave up on. But a lot of them have fairly large pan now, so it makes sense to repress them. The brown shade I actually used quite a bit. As you can see, I expanded the pan on top and I hit pan on the bottom again. I know it's a weird way to use it, but just how it worked out. I learned that I actually like this paired with the silver shade, but it's just a really pretty reddish brown that can look more red or less red depending on how I use it and what I pair with it. And a similar thing with this shade, though, update, this blue I'm kind of done with. I just am. So I want to Franken these two together. Maybe not all of the purple, but I'd like to use some of the purple to make the blue into like a cool toned purple shade. So I'm just done. I'm done with this grayish blue. It was nice while it lasted, but I'm tired of it. Like, there were a lot of looks I did this month that I feel like were just kind of fails. I still have the pictures, but I honestly just didn't like them. And a lot of the looks were with this blue and also with like a really deep brown. And I just wasn't feeling the really dark, blah, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. one of my favorite looks that I've been doing, it's very similar to a look I did in the past. Does anyone remember when I had my That palette that finished after 6 months? But there was that pink shade that I loved using in the crease, and I paired it with a silvery shade. It was really easy, but I liked how they blended together and kind of created a purple mixture. This, blended out with this, paired with the silver shade I'll show soon, it's a very similar look, and I still really, really like it. It's really simple. Moving on to my progress on the little trio. As you can see in the pictures, I'd say this is pretty significant progress. I used the silver and the dark green both 7 times, and then I used the purple in the center 3 times. And obviously the purple must be very thin because I not only expanded the pan I had previously, but hit another pan on the other side. I don't know why I'm like dipping my brush never in the center, but just like on 2 ends of the pans. But as you can see, I hit some major pan in the silver. I don't think I had pan last time, and this has been my focus lid shade. Because it is a neutral, I know silver's technically like cool tone, but it is a neutral that I found works with the purples, works with the pinks, it works with the browns. It just overall works with a lot of things. It's definitely has this periwinkle purpley undertone to it, so it does pull that color, and not necessarily a true just gray silver. And the purple, I often paired it with the silver. I'm just gonna say this next month, I don't think I'm gonna have any pictures to show you because school, I can't wear makeup on the 2 days where I'm there the entire day. 4 classes, 3 of them are back to back, and if I wear any more than the smallest amount of concealer and mascara and a bit of powder, it's going to look like a disaster. I found the way I can do it, and it's just a tiny bit of concealer. I have my mask on. Sometimes I use a tinted lip balm underneath my mask because I find that it doesn't really transfer. On those days, I can't wear any things I'm panning because it's going to melt off. It is like 105, 110 on each day, and it's just not going to work. It is very, very hot, and I don't want to be worried about makeup just smearing everywhere when I have to speed walk between classes. There are 2 days in the week where I only have 1 class. I can wear makeup 2 days of the week, and then Fridays if I have the energy. I don't have any classes on Fridays, but like the weekends, it just depends on if I have the energy to do makeup. So that's why I feel like my panning progress might slow down, but also I think I'll just stick with what I like and what is really easy. And one of the looks is this in the crease, this on the lid, and sometimes the green as a liner. You've seen it before, I've done it many times before. I've done similar looks, and like that pinky silvery look as well, and then the silver with the brown. Those are like my 3 main looks I'm probably gonna go to. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that interesting, but hopefully I can make good progress on the silver especially. The green, I definitely expanded the pan a lot, but I don't think I can make as much progress as I have just because I probably don't want as dramatic of looks going to school. If I do use the green, it's gotta be like today as a liner, and maybe not even as a wing, but like maybe just close to the lash line. When I do Franken and repress things, I think I'm just going to repress these into that palette because again, I'm taking out 3 shades to use on the face, so then I will have 3 openings, and then I don't have to worry about 2 palettes, but just consolidate it down to 1 to focus on. Moving on to my brow powder. Is anyone surprised? It is completely done. It took 13 uses in this past month to finish, but I used it 97 times before that, but that means I used it a total of 110 times. Very happy that is done because there was an entire eyeshadow in there that is now out of my inventory, but it's not very surprising that that is done. Moving on to my Franken bronzer, contour, whatever. So last time I had no pan, and a few days after that I had the tiniest pinprick of a pan, And I mentioned in previous times, the way that I spin my brush around in it, it pretty evenly distributes the use. It's not like I'm focusing it on one spot. So I predicted that if I were to hit pan, the pan would expand fairly quickly. And I'd say my prediction was pretty accurate because yeah, I definitely need to repress it, and I plan on repressing it into a smaller pan so that I can put my new Franken bronzer into this. I think I can finish this within the next month. It is very difficult to get out of the pan now, but I wanted to wait to repress it because I wanted to show you guys the progress. I'm a little sad that the progress basically all happened between updates, but just how it goes sometimes. The last thing in this project is my only cream product, and I use it as a blush. I'm wearing it today, and it is so incredibly close to being done. Yeah, it is almost completely flat with the plastic that is sticking out when it holds it. I plan on using this until I cannot easily kind of draw it onto the brush that I use, and I have a feeling I can't imagine that's more than 10, 15 uses. I could call it done now, I know that, but it's sticking out a little bit. This will definitely be an empty next month, as will the bronzer. I would not be surprised if either the light pink or the light purple are gonna be empty by next time. Stay tuned for my new Franken video. It'll probably be up in about 3-4 weeks. So I'm just gonna stop here and say thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!